Welcome to another video. This is what a chessboard looks like on the computer. You're either going to be playing with the white pieces or the black pieces. Now all of these pieces here, these are the same piece. These are called pawns. These are pawns. And they do have value. They're worth about 1 point. Although if you can get your pawn, any of your pawns, to this back row here in your opponent's area, you can promote that pawn to a queen, a rook, a bishop, a knight. It can become one of those pieces if it can make it all the way to that back row. All of these are pawns. Those are the white pawns, and these are the black pawns. All of these are the black pawns. Okay. Now you also get 2 rooks. There's a rook for white. There's another white rook. Black gets 2 rooks. There they are. Each team gets 2 knights. There they are. They look like horses. 2 knights. You get 2 of those. Each side gets 2 bishops. These are the bishops right there. And you get a queen. There's a queen. And you get a king. There's the king. So there's the black queen, and there's the black king. So those are the pieces, and you need to know how the pieces move. We're going to learn using lichess.org, lichess.org. It's a great website. It's all free, and what makes it so good is that it's interactive. So you'll use your mouse, and you'll be moving the pieces on the board, learning how the pieces move. And so I think that interactive feature really makes it a lot more fun. So I'm going to kind of help you learn how to navigate the website. So you go to lichess.org, and then when you get to this page at the top of the screen, you'll see these options: play, puzzles, learn, watch, community, and tools. And today we're going to go learn, and then underneath that, chess basics. So you need to know how all the pieces move. We can start with the rook. There's the rook right there. All right, now they want you to move the rook to these stars here, so you get to practice moving your rook. Now the rook moves in straight lines, up and down, left, right, that sort of thing. So let's see, you can go here. You click on the rook first, and then you click on the star that you want it to go to. So there, I go here, I click on the rook, I go here. Now once it's on this website, you don't have to click on the rook again if it's already highlighted. You just go to the next star. So that's how the rook moves, and it's giving you another opportunity to practice. Okay, so that's how the rook moves. Let's look at the bishop. How does the bishop move? This is what the bishop does. The bishop moves diagonally, and as you can see, the white bishop will always stay on the white squares. Okay. Now you want to try to, they make it kind of fun. They want you to see if you can move the bishop to hit the squares in as few moves as possible. Okay, so we've done the bishop, the rook. Let's see what the queen can do. Here's the queen. The queen is the most powerful chess piece. Let's see what the queen can do. Okay, now the queen can move like a combination of a rook and a bishop. She can go right, left. She can go up, down. But she can also go diagonal. Look at that. So the queen has a lot of power. She can really do a lot of stuff. Okay, so they want you to practice moving the queen, so you would highlight it, go to that star there, go there. Let's see, let's go here. And that's how the queen can move. Let's go to the king. How does the king move? The king the most important piece, he can only move one square at a time, but he can go up one, he can go diagonal one, he can go left and right one, he can go backwards one. Okay, so right here it looks like he's going to go there, then there, then there, then there. All right, what about the knight? Let's do with the knight. The knight looks like a horse. All right, now he makes kind of an L shape, so his move is going to be an L. Let's see what he does. So what he does is he moves 1, 2 over and 1 up. Or you could say he moves 1 up and 2 over. So however you want to say that. So we're going to make an L shape, so he's going to go here, and then he's going to go here. Let's do that again. Let's see, how about there, then there, then there, 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 and there. Nice. All right, let's see, we've done the rook, the bishop, the queen, the king, the knight. How about the pawn? Let's do the pawn. Like the king, the pawn can move only one square every time, except in the very first move. The very first move, the pawn can move 1 or 2 squares up. Okay, so let's see what he's doing there. He's moving up. And the pawn can become a queen. If you can get your pawn all the way to the other end of the board, you can promote it to a queen, a knight, a rook, a bishop. Most people choose queen. And then from there, the queen can attack that star. All right, most of the time, promoting to a queen is best, but sometimes a knight can come in handy. Interesting. Okay, so I think they want you to try to promote to a knight. Let's go knight. Boom, 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 boom. That was cool. Now, if you're going to talk about the pawn, it's good to talk about something called en passant. We'll get to that in a minute. But like I said, the first time the pawn moves, he can move 1 square or 2. The first time you move your pawn, you can move up 1, or, let's say he goes there, you can move up 2. Now, once you've made your first move, from then on, the pawn can only go up 1 at a time. So like we've already moved this one. So if he moves again, he can only go up 1. And he can only move, this is the way the pawns move, straight up. Okay, this is the way they go. Now, the thing is though, they capture diagonally. So that's kind of fascinating. Let's get into that. Yes, it moves forward, but it captures diagonally. And this is an example. Isn't that interesting? That's interesting. So that's cool. All right. Now we haven't talked about en passant. Let me see if I can find that. En passant. There it is. All right. We've seen how all the pieces move. The last one we talked about was the pawn. I want to talk about en passant. En passant. This is a special move. Okay. My pawn was here. Black just moved their pawn 2 squares because they can move 2 squares in the first move or 1 square. When they do this, the black pawn passed this square right there that my pawn was guarding. And on his first move, he can move 2 squares, but I have the right now to choose to take en passant, which means I would do this, and his piece disappears. Very cool how that works. Now, you don't have to take. Here's another example. Okay. So you don't have to take in that scenario. I just wanted you to know what that is, so that now you know all the pieces and you know how they move. Let's go back into Learn Chess Basics. Okay. Now, once you have practiced you'll get on the website and you'll practice moving all the pieces, learn how the pieces move. Then you'll go into where it says fundamentals and just click on each one and learn how to play. Now that you know how the pieces move, you need to know how to play and all the other things that you'll need to know. But yes, first is the pieces and how they move. Now once you've done all of that, then you're ready to try to play a game. So you would go to click on the main page there, and you see these boards here. There's words like bullet, blitz, rapid, and classical. Now let's say you want to play a practice game. Okay, now ideally you would play at least a rapid game. These quick bullet and blitz games, in the beginning you really don't want to play those. Okay, now just to explain, a bullet game where it says 1 plus 0 or 2 plus 1 bullet. What that means is, for example, let's say this one. You get 2 minutes. For the entire game you get 2 minutes, and every time you make a move, they add 1 second to your clock. Now the average chess game is 40 moves, so you're going to be making 40 moves in less than 2 minutes, and every time you make a move you get an extra second. So the whole game will be over in less than 5 minutes. Your opponent will get 2 minutes plus a 1 second increment as well. So you can play an entire chess game in 5 minutes that way. But you don't want to do that right out of the gate. Now that you've learned how all the pieces move and you've learned all the basics, you really want to stay away from these games until you've practiced playing some longer games. I would recommend at least a rapid game. You see how that's highlighted there? That way you get 10 minutes, your opponent gets 10 minutes, and every time you move you get 5 seconds added to your clock. And this gives you time to think and process and strategize. So I would, if I were you, once you've gone up here and learned all the chess basics, you've done all that, then you're ready to play a game, go to rapid, or you could even do the 15-10 rapid, or even do the classical 30 plus or a 30 plus 20. So for example, this rapid here, 15 plus 10, you get 15 minutes, your opponent gets 15 minutes, plus every time you move you get 10 extra seconds added to your clock. So these are the time increments you want to be playing when you first start. Now once you've played a few thousand games and you're feeling confident, then you're ready to try some of these quicker games, these bullet and blitz games. Okay? Because these quicker games, they don't really allow you to spend a lot of time thinking. And if you don't really know what you're doing, you're just going to be moving the pieces around. It's going to be frustrating. But these longer games give you time to think and come up with a plan and to process what's going on. So I recommend it. Nothing faster than a rapid game. I mean, ideally you'd play a classical. And so you each get 30 minutes. But I like this rapid time, the 10 minutes plus 5 or the 15 plus 10. Every time you make a move, you get time added to your clock. Okay, so in this video, you've learned to go to the top. You've learned to do all these lessons, how the pieces move, all the strategy, do the practice, do the puzzles. Okay, then once you've done all those, you've learned to go to the main page, click on one of these, and the website will find an opponent to play you. So it'll be somebody from anywhere in the world, and they will find an opponent for you, and you'll get to play. Well, good luck, have fun. Thanks for watching. Have a good evening.